Namaste friends, my name is Nisha Thakur and I am a maths online tutor. In this series we are doing polynomial functions and their graphs, and today we will discuss about shape of the graph near a zero. Shape of the graph near a zero of multiplicity m. If C is a zero of P of multiplicity m, then the shape of the graph of P near C is as follows. Multiplicity of C, if um, power is m, which is odd, and m greater than 1, so shape of the graph of P near the x-intercept C is like this. It means m is odd and more than 1, so this graph cross this graph crosses the x-axis at this point C or x-intercept. Okay, here graph cross this x-axis. But if m is even and more than 1, that time graph here doesn't cross x-axis, just bounce here. Okay, at C. Like here positive, so just touch and again upside. Here down, touch and again downside. So m is odd, so graph crosses the x-axis at C, and here doesn't cross. Okay, if m is even. Here is today's question: graphing a polynomial function using its zeros. Graph the polynomial this px is equal to x to the power 4, x minus 2 to the power 3, x plus 1 to the power 2. So first we have to find zeros. Okay, x to the power 4, it means x is equal to 0. X minus 2 to the power 3, so x minus 2 equal to 0, and x plus 1 is square, so x plus 1 is 0. Okay, so here x is equal to 2, x is equal to minus 1. So the zeros are 0, 2, minus 1. Now we can write in uh, ascending order. First write this is smallest number minus 1, then uh, then 0, and then 2. Okay, so these are the zeros, or we can say x-intercepts of the graph. According to this shape of the graph near a zero of multiplicity m, so if C is a zero of P of multiplicity m, then the graph of P near C as follows. So M is odd, graph crosses the x-axis and shape like this. Okay, and if M is even, so graph doesn't cross the x-axis and shape like this. So we apply here this one. Here this given polynomial, here power 4 multiplicity 4, which is even, and this one is even. So 0 is a 0 of multiplicity 4. Here 2 is a 0 of multiplicity 3, and here minus 1 is 0 of multiplicity 2. So when even a multiplicity, graph doesn't cross the x-axis according to this, right? And if multiplicity is odd, so graph crosses the x-axis near, means at C point. Okay, and near to C graph like this. And here can you see, here x to the highest power, here 4, here 3, and here 2. So total x to the power 9. So here degree of the polynomial is 9, which is odd, and leading coefficient, because when we multiply x to the power 9, coefficient is positive. So leading coefficient is positive. So our graph like this. Okay, so and behavior, um, x tends to infinity, y tends to infinity, x tends to minus infinity, y tends to minus infinity. So we can write y tends to positive infinity as x tends to positive infinity, y tends to minus infinity as x tends to minus infinity. Okay, so this is AND behavior, and according to multiplicity, we know actually which type of graph near to C zeros. Okay, and here we got these zeros, and these zeros determine intervals. Okay, so minus infinity to minus 1, then minus 1 to 0, then 0 to 2, and 2 to infinity, positive infinity. Okay, we will choose test points here in between these intervals and check which type of graph. So here minus 1, 0 and 2 are zeros, because when we put these values in the polynomial, given polynomial, we get 0. Okay, or we can say these points are x-intercepts. When we put x is equal to 0, we get y equal to also 0, px also 0. So this is y-intercepts also. Okay, so it means graph cuts on y-axis at 0. Minus infinity, we will put here according to this minus infinity to minus 1, we choose minus 1.3, and between here and here and here also. So minus infinity to minus 1, we choose minus 1.3, and we get negative value. It means graph below the x-axis. Here from minus 1 to 0, we choose negative 0.5, and we get negative value. It means graph below the x-axis. So when we got negative values, it means graph below the x-axis between zeros, between x-intercepts. And when we got positive value, it means graph above the x-axis between zeros or x-intercepts. Okay, these points we can plot on the graph. Here is the graph of the given polynomial, and you can easily see here minus 1, 0 and 2 are minus 1, 0 and 2 are the zeros, x-intercepts. Okay, and here we okay, so this is a y-intercept also, this one, and we can plot these points. And here minus 1 and 0, multiplicity even, so graph doesn't cross the x-axis. But here at 2, here odd multiplicity, you can see here odd multiplicity for this, actually this one here clearly. Okay, so 2 is a 0 of multiplicity 3, it means odd. So like this graph crosses the x-axis. Okay, here like this. So very important things. First, find out zeros, and then find intervals according to zeros. Find y-intercept also, and behavior. You can, for and behavior, you can find out degree of the polynomial and leading coefficient sign, and this multiplicity at zeros. So if even doesn't cross the x-axis, if odd multiplicity graph crosses the x-axis. So these points, if you know, you can easily graph the any polynomial. If you liked my video, so please like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Bye. Have a nice time.